Welcome back to Simple Human Design. I'm your host, Charlie, and today we're going to talk about the projector strategy. And I have a lot to say about the projector strategy. Obviously, being a projector myself, I've had 4 years of experimenting with this and really starting to understand what it exactly means. So, I want to start by giving you a little bit of a warning, right? Because the projector strategy is to wait for the invitation. And I have seen a lot of people say that they have taken this very literally. And just like with anything in human design, don't take everything literally. Don't take anything, don't think that it is written in stone literally for every single situation for you. Right? Projectors can still go out there, initiate when it's correct, and they can still be that lighthouse, shine their genius out into the world and receive invitations, but they do also have to go out and make things happen for themselves, for sure. So please don't think that waiting for the invitation means that you have to sit on the sofa, not do anything, not get your voice out there, not be on social media. You don't have to be on social media, but if you want to, you can. Please don't think that projectors can't be speakers, be leaders, be, anything they want to be, right? They can absolutely go and get it. They can be go-getter people, for sure. But let me just tell you a little bit about why waiting for the invitation is still really important and how I see the reason for this strategy and for being recognized in life. And actually the recognition part is going to be really important here as well. The reason why projectors need to wait for the invitation is because projectors have an incredibly deep understanding of the other person that is in front of them. So we have an aura that is penetrating and focused. So we really do hone in to usually one person that's in front of us, right? And sometimes it's so focused that everything else around us in the room, in the situation, just falls away. We literally have no understanding that anything else is there apart from the person that we're talking to and seeing at that moment. And with that penetrating and focused aura also comes this amazing ability to see deeply into somebody else's soul, to see and understand them clearer than they ever understand themselves. And also to see where they're lying as well. Now, when I say lying, I don't literally mean that, they're saying something that, oh, my car is red, whereas in actual fact, their car is blue. I don't mean literal lying like that, but lying as in, potentially telling themselves mistruths about themselves, telling other people, little bit, things that aren't quite true. So, for example, like the main one that I see that I know that people are lying about is I earned 10 grand last month, right? I know when people are actually telling the truth when they say that. I know when people are telling the truth if they said, oh, I've got 10 people on my program, right? Projectors can read between the lines and we can see whether somebody is actually telling the truth or not, right? Now, to start off with, if you're listening to this and you're a projector and you're like, oh no, that I don't really do that. Trust me, you do that. You just don't know it. You just haven't, sort of like caught onto it. You haven't brought it into your conscious awareness. But I've always known when people have lied. And it's not been a problem because sometimes people lie for a reason. They lie to protect themselves. They lie to protect others. And it's not a problem. It's just that I get this uncomfortable feeling in my body when somebody lies. And I've always known that for sure. So anyway, a little bit of a tangent there. So the projector aura can really see. We can see the gaps as well. We can see what's missing, whether that's in somebody's business, somebody's life, somebody's marketing, somebody's relationship. It doesn't matter, but we can see what's missing. Now, the other person on the other side of, this very intense sort of projection field that's coming towards them, they may not be ready for what the projector has to say. They may not be in a place where they are ready to receive information that is going to help them to succeed with their business, with their relationship, with their life, right? So this is when the projector has to wait to be recognized and invited. Because if we just say what we see and we say, oh, I think you should do this, and we say it in that very that way that we have been the way that we have been almost like conditioned to with our society, you know, our society is very you should do this, oh, you should do that, and we're quick to give people advice without actually sitting there thinking and helping them come to their own conclusions. So because of this conditioning, the projector is projected upon that when we do give advice, like, oh, I think you should get divorced. Are you really ready to hear that actually you shouldn't be with your partner and that you should get divorced? Probably not, right? You need to come to your own conclusion about it. So the projector needs to be recognized and invited. So somewhere down the line, if you do have a friend, if you're a projector and you do have a friend and you think absolutely categorically that they should divorce from their wife or spouse or husband, etc., you should help them to come to their own conclusion about the relationship, about the business, about the client, whatever it happens to be, rather than just throwing it out there, saying what you think that you see, because you're going to get projected onto that you are, well, you could get anything back, really. People might not like you for saying that because it's going to be triggering to them, right? When you say things like, you know, that client is just taking you for a ride, or your husband is not, you know, serving you right now, people get triggered by that because they know it's right. Unconsciously, they know it's right. So it's very difficult for a projector to really sort of like make sure that what they're saying is invited and they have been recognized to help that situation. So really, this is where the projector needs to wait for the invitation. It is when they can see something that other people can't, that they know is going to fix. And because of this awareness, the projector can really start to come into true alignment, because instead of saying, I think you should do this, and just pounding the advice out there, uninvited, what you can do instead as a projector is you can help people to come to their own conclusions using questions. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than a projector asking you a question that gets you thinking, that changes your life. So projectors make great coaches because the coaching ideology and the understanding that you help people to come to their own conclusions about certain things, whether it's a really small thing or really big, this just automatically makes projectors a great coach. And other people can be coaches too, absolutely. It's just that projectors do have a natural ability to be able to do this. So projectors, as your practical guidance for this episode, what I want you to do is I want you to think about a situation that you have been in where originally you might have just shared your advice. And by the way, when you share your advice, if people then, go away and do something else, doesn't feel great. It makes you feel bitter because it makes you feel unseen. And it just doesn't work at all for you. And when you're bitter, you're in your not self. So when you're in that situation, whether it's a friend or your spouse or, anybody who you usually give advice to and then you get fed up because they don't follow it, think about the questions that you can ask instead. So ask questions to help people to come to their own conclusions about the problem that they are struggling with. The other thing you can do as well is if someone comes to you and again and again and again, they've asked you for advice, and again, they have told you, or they have, gone away and not followed your advice. The other thing you can do as well is to put boundaries into place and say, I'm not giving you any advice. because every single time they do that, they are draining your energy, and that energy could be best used and best put somewhere else, to someone who recognizes you, to someone who really, values that projector insight that you have. And you will feel seen and you will feel successful the more that you move your energy away from the people that don't recognize you, and the more that you ask those projector questions to help people to come to their own conclusions. So that is my episode for the projector strategy. If you have any questions, if you have any insights, please let me know. I hang out on Threads, so I'd love to hear your comments or your insights about it, because it's a subject that is very, very important. I'm very passionate about helping people to understand that there's a lot of people out there that follow what I call pop HD. And as someone who trains with the International Human Design School teachers only, I'm very passionate at helping people to understand that the human design system should not be taken literally. It's simply just a guide. And by all means, get things wrong, right? So you could go into a situation where you just blurt out advice just to bring yourself into conscious awareness of how it feels. How does your body feel? How was it received? Do you feel better? Did they go away and take that advice? Have a play around with it. Have an experiment. Have fun with it. Because actually, at the end of the day, we're just here to have fun with human design. So please let me know if you've got any comments. And yeah, that's it for Simple Human Design for this episode. I'll see you on the next one.